Just out of curiosity, when you got hit by that car, did you fly? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you did. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it was.
That's crazy.
How far was it? He was turning. Like I was in the bike lane both times I got hit by.
Oh, you were actually on the.
I was kind of, my eyes were closed. I was kind of by the gutter.
Yeah.
And I was like, I opened my eyes. I thought, did I just get hit by a car? And then I closed my eyes again. I'm like, I don't know what to do in this scenario. So I got up. My arm was.
How's a water buffalo?
This is a Buff Talk.
2, 1. Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Old School Matt here. We are back with another Buff Talk, and today we are joined by our boy Christian Johnson, aka Christian. What's your Instagram name again?
Coca Cola Christian.
Coca Cola Christian.
Yep.
Today we decided to get together because me and Christian are actually going to go train legs, and we said, you know what, why not hit a podcast today? Me and Christian have been buddies for a little while. We actually met through social media, which was actually pretty cool, and we connected through there, and ever since then our friendship has kind of grown. And super hardworking kid, or not kid, man. And I just want to introduce him to the show and introduce him to all the water buffaloes out there watching. So what's going on, Christian?
Nothing much. Just got off work earlier, and yeah, looking forward to do legs.
Yeah.
It's been looking forward to use that calf machine.
Definitely.
It's always nice to kind of find different equipment and all that.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, I got that little cap machine in my garage, but I haven't barely used it.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the seated cap machine?
Yeah, the seated.
Yeah. No, but Christian and I decided to get together today to talk about something that he wanted to talk about was picking yourself up after you're having to restart from like a adversity. And I think this goes great with the podcast because we haven't really talked about this before. A lot of times we talk about, like being successful and working hard, but we don't really talk about the downsides of this type of stuff, especially when it comes to the gym. So real quick, Christian, why did you want to bring up that topic? Did something happen to you recently in the gym where you kind of had to reset?
I feel like it's happened a couple times. Everyone kind of goes through those, like especially nowadays, like say someone got COVID, they have to take a week, maybe 2 weeks off from the gym, and then they got to go through that mental process of, I've already spent 2 weeks, I got to get back in the gym. You go back the first day and you're like, I'm not putting up the weight as good as I used to, or just kind of getting past that mental barrier of having to start over in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna ask you, have you ever had any injuries before at the gym? Like, to set you out for a little while?
Once I was actually biking home from the gym one day, and I was supposed to do abs by the end of the workout, and I decided not to do it that day. I was like, it's Friday. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I was biking home, and a car hit me
No
when I was
way.
biking home.
Really?
And then that was my second time getting hit by a car.
Really?
And so I was like, it's no big deal. And so I got up. My arm was, it hurt a little bit. But I was like, it's all good. But over time.
What happened? Your elbow got messed up?
Well, yeah, I was moving it, so I knew it wasn't broken.
Yeah.
And then over time, it just started to lock up. Like, I kept doing this.
You're talking about I started to lock up that same day?
Yeah. But I kept trying to move it so it wouldn't lock up. And then over time, and then it got stuck like that. And I was like, it must be a muscle type, deal.
Did you go to the hospital?
No. I was like, I know it's not broken.
Did they stop or did they keep going?
No, they stopped.
Yeah.
The guy was real cool about it. It was kind of an unfortunate accident. He was like, I just got home from like a week-long trip from work. He's like, I just left the airport. I'm like 5 minutes from my house.
That's crazy.
And he's like, this happened, and my bike was damaged, but he paid me for my bike, and he took me home. But I was like,
how long were you out for?
My arm was stiff for a good 2 to 3 months. So I was like, oh man.
Did you go to the hospital ever or no?
No.
Really?
Because I was like, I've never broken a bone.
No, me neither.
And I've never gone to, hospitals for stuff like that. So I was like, I know it's not broken because I was moving it. And I was like, I don't want to pay like $500+ for them to tell me
that
it's not broken.
Or that's not broken, or that.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
And I've always been a fan of just healing stuff naturally.
Yeah, me too. That's
So-
what we could talk about too, because I think that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So I knew they would put my arm in a cast when it didn't really need one.
to, yeah.
But my arm was stuck like this, so I was like, oh, I'll just wear a hoodie, keep my arm in it.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know, that was kind of a setback mentally. 'Cause,
Definitely.
you know, you put all those months into watching your body grow, and then you know, having to sit on the sidelines in a way, you're like just watching yourself deteriorate. And so that was like a minor little, you know, setback.
Definitely.
But,
Damn, that's great. When did that happen? Oh, real quick, could you tilt the mic a little bit and bring it just a little bit closer to you? Yeah, perfect.
that was probably 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years
So
ago.
how many years lifting, and how old are you?
24.
24. Okay.
Yeah.
We're about the same age. When did you first? Because you said it was about 2-3 years ago. So when did you first start lifting?
Just in general or after the
Like before that? Like how long before that?
It was really probably in junior high. That's where kind of when I got
so
into
it was a little while. So you've been lifting for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay. Something similar like that happened to me. Not the same. No, I didn't get into an accident like that, but it's kind of like you get, because what did you say? You maybe had 3 or 4 years in the bag at that point.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, and you like finally have grooved into what you're doing,
Right.
And you're like, I'm chilling, like I'm making gains, and I know what I'm doing. And then bam, you get hit with an injury.
You get in the motion.
Just happened to me. Happened to me twice actually. The first time was a back injury I had when I was like 17, but I had been lifting since I was 13, 14 years old. So I'd been in the lifting game for a couple of years. I was still young, but that back injury set me back for like about a year. And that was tough because, like I said, you see all the gains for like year, 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're finally like, wow, I actually got this. And then bam,
Yep.
you hurt yourself. And then
All
you're
the
out.
years it took to put on it, and then just a couple weeks to a month,
Yeah,
you
that's
just watch it.
No, it's not all gone, but like
Right.
you lose like a definitely like a, I would say like 40 to 50% of what whatever you gained if you're not training. So you didn't train at all during that time period?
No, it was I went a couple of times to do like legs because that's really all I could do. I was like, all right,
I did the same thing.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
tried to
I
do
could
this.
still do like, I could do calf raises, I could do hip thrusts, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But
And
I'm
then
like,
you end up like, I think that sometimes if it's like really bad, I don't know the extremity to your elbow problem, but my back pain, I tried to do that for like a year, and I
Yeah.
think all that did was like prolong my recovery process. Because like you basically use it was like my middle back, but everything I did was affected by it. Squats, bench press, even twisting for abs, and I try to like work around it. But I think that just made the process a lot harder.
that's worse though, because back is like everything,
Yeah, everything.
you do
Yeah.
revolves around the back.
Exactly.
So it's like,
Yeah, it sucks, dude. I mean, like it happens to a lot of people. But I think, and what we're probably gonna get into is like, how do you come back from something like this? I think the really important thing is learning patience and learning like self-control, like I was just saying, because I think a lot of times we try to rush back into, into the gym. We
Right,
try to rush right back into it. And when we do that, we end up prolonging the recovery process and we get like an ego to ourselves because we're like, oh, I can get back into it. But even if you're like not ready by like a week, that one, like let's say the next week your body would have been ready, then you just reset yourself another 2 months. So now you're just prolonging. That's exactly what happened to me. Every time I feel like I was just about ready to like get back to, okay, I can start doing rows, I would go and do something like, I'd go do it like 2 weeks early, and then bam, I'd have pain again for another 3 or 4 months. So if I would have the first time just waited it out, I feel like, I wouldn't have been that long, because it happened for almost like 2 years. It was bad.
because mentally you're thinking, you're like, I feel all right today.
Yeah.
I think I'll do a little bit. I won't do as much, but you're like, I'll do a little bit of emotions, see if I can kind of, because if you wait for it to be completely healed or like, who knows when that's going to be.
Exactly.
But just mentally, you just watching yourself and, sitting out all the time. You're like, oh man, I'm just watching all this hard work kind of
go away.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important for people to know too, like I was just saying, like, you do lose a lot, but at the end of the day, like when you get back into it, dude, it's like real quick.
Yeah.
At least for like if you know what you're doing, if you're like a beginner and maybe you're not like too informed on how to do stuff, and I'm pretty sure you know because you have muscle and you look pretty good and you're strong as hell.
Appreciate it.
But you know, if you know what to do and you know your body, it's really not that hard to gain it back.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit, like, you know, it takes a couple months to gain back where you were, but it's not going to take you those years to get back to where you were before.
Because knowledge is there.
The muscle memory,
Yeah.
your muscle cells are still there. It's just like they might have deflated a little bit. A lot of times too, it's like a mental thing. I feel like we don't really lose as much as we think we're losing.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just like mentally we see ourselves get a little smaller because you have to think about it. If you don't pump blood into the muscles, if you're doing 5 days a week, you're pumping blood in the muscles 5 days a week, and then all of a sudden you're not doing it at all. Your muscles are going to be essentially like in layman's terms, deflated. They're still there. They still have the cells at the same size. It's just they're a little small. You look a little smaller since you haven't been pumping as much blood into the muscle as you normally do. But what would you? So after that, like how was that recovery process for you? After you messed your elbow up.
Really, I was just what did I do? I think I was just trying to find other stuff to kind of do. Like normally I would go to work and then after I would bike to the gym. And so after that I was like, I don't know what to do. So, for a while I was starting to do legs, just legs, and then I'm like just lifting the weights with one arm and kind of like setting up all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I don't want to, because I was still feeling it in this arm somewhere.
What type of pain was it?
It was like pretty much like it was stuck like that. So at times I would try to like force it.
Does it still bother you now?
No. At times, like I used to, like this used to maybe bend like that. And then this arm would be like that. And I'd kind of see it in the mirror. Like this one was kind of bent that way. But over time, I just kept like kind of trying to force it.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I was just trying to keep occupied. And it was really just like you said, it was just a mental battle.
Yeah.
Just like, because you probably didn't lose much.
Yeah.
But in your eyes, there's
definitely
a difference.
Oh, 100. I mean, you do lose a little bit. You're going to lose with something if you're injured. What was the first chest day after that? Like, do you start slow or do you just jump back into it right away?
That's the thing. I was like, because I worked, I was keeping my buddies posted. I was like, all right, I think I'll go back today. I have a good enough motion to where I think I could, it doesn't hurt anymore. And that was probably after like 2-3 months. And then, I started to work out again and I picked up what was it? I tried to say I was curling like 35s at the time. Yeah. I was like, all right, obviously I'm not going to try that. So I was like, I'll try with 25s.
Okay.
You could barely do that. So I'm like,
damn. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, gotta move to the paperweight section. I was like, I picked up the 5s for a certain exercise. Like, what was I doing? I think I was doing overhead to chest squeeze. Yeah. To where you're holding it over here and doing that. And I think I was using the 5s or the 2.5s. And just in my head, I'm like, man, I never thought I'd have to pick up these weights for exercise. But, obviously it's no, like, if people are using those weights, it's no big deal. It's like everyone's at their own level.
Of course.
But just mentally, I'm like, man, I was doing 25s.
And now you're doing... it happened to me... I don't really remember too much the recovery process for my back injury. I think I was just hurt for so long that like my body just said fuck it, and one day it was just good. I did a lot of recovery stuff towards the end, which was also important, but it was such a long injury. It was like a nagging injury. It turned because I heard of deadlifting and it was like really sharp pain, and then it just stayed like a consistent pain. And I think it was because of my lack of judgment by me just rushing back into the recovery process of things. Like I was saying, like I kind of rushed into everything, so I should have taking off the time I needed to take off and then get back into it when I felt like I was ready.
So it wasn't like say you were deadlifting and then all of a sudden you felt
it was like that at first.
It was like that.
But then like that sharp pain went away and then it was just like a nagging pain. Like the pain went down obviously over time. For the first like 3 or 4 months it was pretty bad, and then after that it was just like consistent pain that just did not go away for like a good 2 years. It was not that it was hell, but it was just like annoying, you know what I mean? I don't know if you ever had like a nagging injury like
just
that
an
before.
irritating little like.
Yeah.
It's not much, but you know it's there. You're like, oh, if I do a little too
Yeah.
much, it may.
It was a little bit more than just like that. It was a little bit like sometimes it would be painful.
Yeah.
But like I was trying to say, and kind of like put all this into a wrap it all up is like definitely just have patience. Patience is key when it comes to resets. I feel like you need to lay out a plan of what you're gonna do and be really smart with your resources, because if you have to reset, that means that something bad had to have happened. So you have to take that and kind of like look at all the parts to it. For example, for mine was I didn't warm up properly for those deadlifts that day. I was rushing into what I was doing. So those are things on my list that I'll never do again.
Yep.
And I'll take the steps that have to be taken to kind of get myself back in that process. But kind of going off which with your shoulder or your tricep injury, I had another injury where I hurt my shoulder, and this was the second time around, which it was like, I don't know if you ever had like something pop in the gym before.
No, not
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
Yeah, hopefully never. It's the scariest thing in the world. So I had when I hurt my back, I heard something pop in my back, and when I hurt my shoulder, I heard something pop in my shoulder. The shoulder thing was less bad because I did take the steps. Like once I heard it, I didn't continue going. After I hurt my back, that back day I continued to work out. I did finish the whole workout.
Yeah.
So the shoulder, I was doing 315 on bench, which at the time, this is like 2 years ago or a year ago. It was kind of easy, and it was like I just started hitting 315 for reps, so I was like, "Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
this is cool." You know what I mean? And I thought, just jump up for instead of doing 135, 225, 275. Now I'm just gonna do 135, 225, 315 because I can hit it. And the first time I did it without going into 275 in between, the first set, 2 reps in, I popped my shoulder, and I was out for like a good 3 months. But I was smart about it. I didn't hit anything upper body, and when I hit legs very light. You know what I mean? I kept it like very, very moderate, and I focused on getting back. I knew that it was going to take time. Yeah. I knew that if I, try to work around it and try to do like shoulders, but not really, or chest, but not really, I was just going to prolong the injury.
Yeah.
And like you said, I like to heal myself naturally. So I did that, and, knock on wood, thank God I haven't had that injury. I haven't had that pain since.
No, it's good you picked up from the first one. You're like, all right, I did this the first time. That's caused me all those years of pain. You're like, all right, this one, it's. You're like, this one, I'll ease into it more. I won't, I won't just want to jump right into it just because I know I'm kind of taking it easy for a little while. But
real quick before we like kind of close out on this topic, I was just out of curiosity, when you got hit by that car, did you fly? Like, you did. Oh,
yeah, shit. It was.
That's crazy.
How far was it? He was turning. Like I was in the bike lane both times I got hit by.
Oh, you were actually on the.
Or no, I was on the sidewalk.
Okay,
my bad.
Okay.
Because I got pulled over once by a cop. He was like, "Hey, you need to be biking in the bike lane," and that was after I got hit by the car
he pulled
twice.
You over on the sidewalk?
Yeah, because I didn't have a backlight turned on.
How do you pull you? He just turned the lights on and.
Yeah, he stopped me. It was probably like 2:00 at night.
Oh, dude.
I was biking the Checkers, and he was like, "Hey, just your light wasn't on, and just want to let you know you gotta bike in the bike lane."
Yeah.
And that was after I got hit by a car.
Yeah, you're like
biking on the sidewalk.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, so I'm like, I got hit twice on the sidewalk. I don't want to be in the road.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah. I was like, well, I feel it's a little safer to be on the sidewalk. And
no, dude, the bike lane sketches me out, man.
Yeah,
I don't really ride bikes like that, but I mean, when I have ridden bikes like long distance and I've ridden in the bike lane, I feel so unsafe.
Just the
because it's right there. It's right there, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You feel the what's
cars,
that called? The wind speed or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, I don't trust the bike lane. If I bike, I'd rather bike on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
So
I was telling him that I'm like, I just feel safer on the sidewalk. I'll turn my back light on. That was my bad.
Got you.
But I was like, I don't want to risk my chances.
Yeah. Oh, wait, real quick. What about the first time you got hit
the first time? It was funny.
How old were you? Were you younger then?
What was I? I think I was 13.
Okay.
I was biking to the bus stop, and I was biking no hams, eating it was a blueberry Eggo waffle, and then a lady was backing out of her driveway, like hood first, and she backed out and she hit me. And at that time, that was the first time I got hit by a car, and I'm like, I was kind of, my eyes were closed. I was kind of by the gutter.
Yeah.
And I was like, I opened my eyes. I thought, did I just get hit by a car?
Yeah.
And then
I got
was
hit
like,
one time.
oh yeah.
Not on a bike, but on something else.
I was like, did I just get hit by a car? And then I closed my eyes again. I'm like, I don't know what to do in this scenario. Like, and then I was perfectly fine. I wasn't hurt, but just the thought as a kid to get hit by a car.
Oh, dude, yeah, that would have been traumatizing. When I was in college, I got hit on my scooter one time.
Oh yeah.
I was riding moped. It's like a
Vespa type.
Vespa,
Yeah.
In Gainesville, that's a pretty popular thing. But
Yeah.
I was driving it one day and I just like stopped abruptly because the car in front of me stopped abruptly and the car behind me slammed, and it threw me to the car in front of me. But I was so close to the car in front of me that instead of just like hitting myself, I jumped to the side and I squeezed out. I don't know if you can imagine, like, me, car, he hit me and it pushed me up, but instead of just letting myself hit the back of this car, I jumped and like,
oh, okay.
yeah,
Try to
I don't do.
So you almost got sandwiched, but you kind of jumped.
I like jumped out. That
Yeah.
was scary as hell. Nothing happened, dude. Nothing happened.
Oh, wow.
Little scratches on the front guy's car. The lady's car on the back was fine. My scooter just literally just picked it up, and I think like a big scratch on the front, but nothing. And my scooter is a piece of crap anyway. So
showing a video of that, that's when you
Dude.
cue the part where it's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's Jason Bourne. Just jump off the boat.
dude, I probably would have got hurt like a little bit. It wasn't that bad though, because like when she hit, I think she stopped. Because if it would have been really bad, then that scooter would have been sandwiched.
Yeah.
But that was pretty scary, dude.
Man.
Do you remember the moment on either one before you got hit? Like when you feel the initial push?
Yeah. The first one, like I said, I was
you
young,
weren't
so
expecting
I'm like,
You're just
my first thought was like, oh sweet, I could tell all my friends about
I
it.
got hit by a car.
The second one was just more painful. I was like, my bike's totaled. I got to pay for this. All that kind of.
You were just riding, and all of a sudden you got hit on the side.
Yeah, like I looked. Of course, I turned around. I looked,
Yeah.
and he was probably on his phone, or of course he didn't tell me
How far did you fly?
The first one was probably only like 5 feet.
Yeah.
The second one was probably like, say the roads here, sidewalks here. I probably flew like probably a good 10.
Did you have your helmet on?
No.
Oh damn, dude, you're lucky.
Concussion, yeah.
I mean, no, I wouldn't. You don't wear a helmet when you ride your bike, right?
No.
Yeah,
no.
no, me neither.
But yeah,
you
was
should, but
right.
Don't
yeah,
take
yeah,
it
where
unless-
you yeah.
But
No, the first time, like, I said I was eating the blueberry
Yeah.
waffle, and the lady got out of her car, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're like the 7th kid I've hit."
are you serious?
And I looked at right when she said that, I looked at the hood of her car, and it was all scratched up.
No way.
And I'm like, I couldn't tell if that was just from my bike or if
Yeah.
that was like
She
previous.
said that?
Yeah, she was like,
my
"Oh my
God.
gosh, you're like the 7th kid I've hit," and I'm like,
Lady, you need to stop driving.
"Yeah." I told my dad that at the time. He was like,
Did you guys talk to them at all, or is it just,
no, I was like, I'm fine. I'm like, I got some scratches, but I was like,
that is nuts.
I was kind of being sarcastic with my dad. I'm like, my Eggo waffle, like what?
Yeah.
My Eggo waffle was kind of just sitting there on the pavement, had a little grease mark on the driveway.
Yeah,
But
that's funny. No, when that had to happen to me, it's weird, dude. It's like I feel like all split moment, and I wish Levi was on this podcast because he actually got a really bad motorcycle accident.
oh, okay, yeah.
He got hit by a car and he flew,
Man.
and he dislocated his shoulder. He like whole 9 yards.
I think he mentioned that when I saw him on the
Really?
on the job at the
Yeah,
junk
yeah.
job. I think he mentioned that about an injury he had with a motorcycle. I was
Dude,
like,
he told me the story. I don't remember exactly. He'll tell it someday on this, but he like flew into someone's yard and he was like freaking out, asking people for help, and like there was a bunch of girls there and they were like freaking out too.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, it's like that, because I remember the moment like right before I just felt a lot of pressure.
Man.
I remember just letting go and just like stepping on the little stool in front and just launching myself forward and to the left. And I just like did one of these like bounce, when you jump off a fence, and you like kind of tumble.
You're like ejectocito,
Yeah.
cuz.
Thank God it was it was in the opposite lane. So if there was a car coming back this way, I would have been dead.
Yeah.
If it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, those moments are kind of scary. But I did want to hit on a point that you were talking about earlier, how you like to heal yourself naturally. And so what's your thoughts about that?
My friends, I've been like this since since I was little. I never wanted to take medicines. like if I had a headache, I would just kind of suck it up throughout the day, and I would like naturally I found out like, I mean, I wouldn't promote this, but I wouldn't say everyone should do it, but I was like, whenever I'd get a migraine or a headache from not eating throughout the day, I drank some pop, whether it's like cream soda or Coca Cola, and I would, within an hour my headache would go away. But I'd always see, my mom or sisters, they'd get a headache. First thing they do, they're like, oh, where's the Tylenol? And they'd get headaches so frequently, or like when they were sick, they just kind of hop to the like, oh, I got a pill or I got this pill.
Definitely.
And they got sick so often to where I was like,
100% agree.
I was like, I don't take medicine. I've gotten sick probably within 10 years.
Yeah, no, I do.
So,
100%. You know what's crazy? It's like I feel like people that are like, because I didn't even know that about you, right? Like we don't know a lot of things about each other, but it's crazy because we get along pretty well. Yeah. And I think the same way. Yeah. And it's crazy how when you think like another person, you kind of attract, your friendship / your acquaintanceship, it's like there, without even having to try. That's crazy because I think the same exact way, bro. Ever since I've been younger, I have to give it to my mom because my mom was kind of like that. Yeah. I never, even to this day, I don't take anything that I don't feel like I need. That's why, like, I try when I go to, I never really go to the doctor unless I like am very, very sick, but that doesn't happen. Like, for example, when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, they gave me a lot of pain meds. Yeah. But I didn't take any of the pain meds because I didn't feel like I needed to. You know what I mean? They told me, hey, you're going to be in a lot of pain. You shouldn't eat, blah, blah, blah. And they said, just make sure you keep your mouth clean and whatnot. And I felt, it was a little bit uncomfortable, but I felt completely fine, versus somebody who like, somebody that I know who also got their wisdom teeth taken out. She was in extreme pain like the day after, but she was a person that would take a lot of pain medicine and like, headache, Advil, Tylenol or stomachache Tums, this. It's like, I feel like if your body's not used to healing yourself, you get into that like a feedback loop to now every time you have something, you have to take it. Yeah. It's a crazy sort of, thing that the body does because it's not even just medicine. For example, for myself, I can see that caffeine for me is something like that my body sometimes needs. And I try to realize that and try to like, get off of it so I'm not relying on it because I feel like it's not a good thing for your body to need something to function. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the coffee habit or energy drink habit. Exactly. You drink those every single day. Naturally, your body, if you don't give it to it, your body's going to be like, hey, what's up, man? Just kind of like.
Is that you with Coca Cola? Like, do you drink Coke every day or no?
No, I try to limit myself to like my days off, like Friday or Saturday. So I'll try to. It's not really good, but I'll try to finish the 12-pack within that Friday or Saturday. But no, just stuff like what's it called? What we were talking about? I just had a brain.
The medicine stuff.
Yeah, with I don't know. I just found it just hearing from people that always got sick or whatnot. They were always.
Are you like that with everything or just medicine? Like, for example, like the COVID-19 vaccine. Are you think you're gonna get it?
No.
Okay.
And me and my friend, he was kind of. I'm kind of like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Exactly. I'm the same way.
And my buddy, he's real worried about it, but
he's worried about the virus, or he's worried.
About so he was like.
We can't be friends anymore.
Yeah, his dad's like, no, I don't want. I'm real. Yeah. I've known this family for years, but he's like, no, Christian can't come over if he's not vaccinated. And I was like, no, it's all good. I get it, but I'm like, I've been working this whole year. Yeah. Like,
have you gotten it yet or no? The COVID?
No, never. No. That's where I'm like, I've never gotten it. I'm not saying it's impossible for me to get it, but I'm like. I've been healthy working
exactly and
seeing grocery stores, seeing people every single day. Yeah, this whole year and a half, and I'm like, I've never gotten it. People around me have gotten it, but I'm like, I'm not saying I'm immune to it. I'm not saying it's like.
But I think that there's some truth to it too, because I mean, obviously the pandemic was bad. A lot of people died, and there was a lot of misfortune and whatnot. But if everybody learned how to used their body as their main healing mechanism and didn't rely on pharma.
Yeah.
I'm open about this, so I don't care. You know, we as individuals in society would be in a lot better place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know Levi and I had a conversation on the podcast, I think, or at some point, and we talked about like the majority of his calls for people that, you know, have heart attacks or strokes typically aren't people that are in the best shape. And I'm not trying to like downplay or like make them feel bad about themselves, but I think it's a good reality check for people who are out there watching that rely on things like even like Advil and stuff like that. And even certain things like, for example, myself, coffee, is learning a way to get off these things because the best way that you can live your life is by relying on what your body gives you.
Yeah.
Assuming you're a healthy functioning. I mean, obviously if you have like certain conditions that, you know, require medication, that's a different story. But if you're a normal, healthy human being, you shouldn't really be having to take much to get you to function, if that makes sense.
Because someone told me a long time ago, they're like, the body was it was made to heal itself.
Exactly.
Whether it be a physical injury or just internal illness or something.
I 100% agree.
The body was meant to heal itself. So after hearing that, I was like, you know, for minor stuff, like if I had a runny nose or a little flu when I was younger, my mom, she worked at CVS. She was in the pharmaceutical, and she would always be like, oh, I got a pill. And I'm like,
no.
Just over time, eventually, like, it got so irritating to where I'm like, you know, I'm not going to take it.
It feels good not to take it. It feels good sometimes to tough it out, in my opinion. Like, for example, for me, I think my allergies were horrendous 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I never took allergy medicine. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they're 100% now. They're still sometimes still bad. But I can like for example, dogs. I used to have, when we used to have dogs, both my dogs passed away, but we used to have dogs. When I first was younger, I used to get allergies like crazy. Yeah. Up until about 17, 18, and I would just stick through the allergy attack. I mean, obviously, if I was like dying, I would go to the hospital. That never happened to me. Yeah. But like, I would stick through the itchy eyes, through the nose, take a shower, and blah, 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 wash myself off, hot water. And eventually, I just stopped getting, I was so used to it that it just stopped.
You just kind of push through the minor little irritations.
Yeah, and the body,
they're irritating, but
you know, there has to be something behind this. Like there has to be some sort of like there has to be some sort of like credit that we have to give to the body for this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people that, and trust me, dude, I believe science 100%. Like I love, you know, reading on different stuff on nutrition and diet and blah, blah, everything. I love science, but there has to be something that we credit the body for. Not everything should be healed through pharmaceuticals or medication or anything like that. I think that the body has a lot bigger role in our recovery process than anything else. I think 90% of the stuff we get can be healed by the body.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it was because I followed Bruce Lee, or I still, you know, really look into his, and I've been watching him since I was like 4, but he had a similar injury as you did. He had a back injury, and he said, you know, he didn't warm up properly, and he had a lower back pain for the rest of his life. And you know, he started to find, like, I think doctors put him on like painkillers, and he was stuck on those for the rest of his life. Wow. And like they gave him all these side effects, and then he just had a bad like chemical reaction. Like his body didn't have a good reaction to the painkillers. So once I found that out, just growing up, I'm like, I don't want to take painkillers or medicine, like due to all the side effects or all that. And
I have nothing like against anyone who does take this stuff. Right. I just think that if you were to look on the other side and just try it, like you don't even have like just try it for like 3 months. Like next time you get like a little sniffle, just try to push past it. Instead of popping the Advil, and we get a tummy ache or a stomach ache, don't pop the Tums. Just, you know, drink some water, go outside, get some fresh air, take a shower. Like a lot of the times, I find that stuff helps me more than any pill has ever helped me before. Because you take an allergy medicine pill and you go right to sleep. It makes you tired. You know what I mean? You take this and then, you know, you got whatever. Like there's always side effects to these things as well. That's another thing people don't like to talk about is even these like over the counter medicines. They have, you know, small side effects that can build up over time. Your body's not meant to take Sudafed every day, which is like a cold or whatever medicine. And I know people that'll take it if they feel like they have runny nose.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What I mean? But
I'm not feeling right today. Or, just, I don't know. I would kind of, my younger sister's kind of like, she was kind of brought up like that to where she would always take like whatever my mom would offer. So now, like, if she got like, I got a runny nose, or I got a little headache, she's like, do you have any this or that? And, there's, I don't know. I just feel like she didn't kind of let herself build up that kind of physical toughness. Like, I'll just suck it up. I'll take a nap. And that's the thing. Like, if I would get a migraine or a headache, or if I would just feel off, I'm like, I'll drink like a can of Coke or something, a little bit of caffeine. And then I'm like, I'll take a 2-hour nap. I would wake up and I'd feel completely
perfect,
better.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, now I know if I ever feel like wrong in any way, I'm like, I'll take a nap, let my body rest, and then I wake up perfectly, perfect.
So you never get sick either?
No.
Surprisingly, this is the first time I've been not sick, but I had like a little bit like an allergy spike on the past couple, I'll say like past week and a half, 2 weeks. But I don't really get sick either.
Yeah.
I maybe get sick one time every 2 or 3 years. I can't even like count. I haven't been sick more than 5 times since like the middle of high school.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of people that I know, they get like getting sick is like a normal thing. Like, oh, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Even before COVID, obviously COVID now is like, kind of that word sick kind of freaks people out. But
right. Yeah.
I know a lot of my friends, they'd be like, oh, I have a cold. I never really got any of that.
Yeah.
After the first, I would say 13, 14, I just never really got sick. And I definitely have to give it to my mom and my dad for not putting me on medication every time that I felt like I needed something.
Especially during those younger years when the body is already starting to heal itself and grow itself. It's like when you're just putting all these kind of medication. I mean, like we said, everyone's like, a kid may grow up with a heart condition.
Exactly.
There's
I think there's a lot of what's it called? There's a lot of like exceptions, but there's more exceptions than or how do you put it? Like a lot of people think that they need something, but it's not truly that many people. I think it's a smaller percentage than what we actually think. Because I think that if people learn how to heal without taking something, it would help them out a lot. There's a lot of stories out there on multiple types of medication. You guys can look into it. But like obviously, if you're diabetic, type 1, and you need insulin, like you need insulin. Yeah. But there are certain things that people talk about, and a lot of people do really well not medicating themselves on things. They get off the medication, whatever that might be, and they see their lives get a lot better. You know what I mean?
Like I was watching. There was this one documentary. It was like it was either on like pills or eating healthy, and it was all these people, and they would talk about their stories of like, some of them would be obese or overweight, and they would be like, oh, I have diabetes, or I have like heart issues. And then instead of taking all these medicines, they're like, before I jump on all that, I want to see if there's like another alternative. And all the cases, they would be like, they would just change what they ate. They would like stop eating like hamburger meat or something. Yeah. And like they would move to that like kind of vegan diet, and or just like not even full vegan. They would just like eat majority of like fruits and
vegetables,
add more of that. And they're like, eventually whatever they had just went away. And I'm like, wow. See, that's like, I get not everyone's body could probably do that, but it's like,
I think more people than not.
Right.
I really do. I really think it's a higher. And not only does not relying on medication make your body physically better, I think it makes you mentally tougher too.
Oh yeah. Not dealing with all the side effects that they may cause. Like they try to fast forward through all that, like may cause depression. Oh,
100%. And I think that like the mental aspect is a big part of it too. Like I know people call it BS sometimes, and people are like, oh no, that's not true. But like, it is true. I think it is true. Like a lot of the things that we deal with in life, whether that be sickness or illness or, whatever it might be, is a lot of mental toughness. People that are, people that have problems with certain things, you can even say that it is, like some people say no, because it's an effect of their situation. But I personally think that it's it's the reason that they're going through these things in life is because they lack the mental strength to push past it. Some people might say it's the opposite, that since they have these things, they lack the mental strength. But I don't think that that's necessarily true in every case. Obviously, that there's certain things that people just deal with, and it's there, like they have to, and it comes from genetics or whatever. They're put in a position where they're sick or whatever it might be. But I think that more times than not, there's a lot of benefits from healing naturally, sort of that sort of way of life.
Sure.
That people don't look into. But did you want to hit on anything else on the podcast?
Let's see. No, nothing comes to mind right now.
I think that that was a really pretty good conversation about like the medicine and the healing sort of thing. Because I would love to hit on this another time. Maybe we'll do another one with more people and get more opinions. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like in our society nowadays, it's kind of like looked down to like, if you don't get like you're saying, if you don't get the vaccine, you're the devil.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't really see I don't see why you would want to take medicine.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like why like what makes you not want to take medication or like something to help you out when you're quote unquote sick or whatever?
Because I was I've talked with my friends about this a lot. I'm like, they know I don't take medicine.
Do they disagree, a lot of them?
With the vaccine, yes.
Yeah.
But like before with just medicine, they're like all right, whatever. But they're like, what if you get cancer? I'm like, well, I've seen stories of people they've gone the vegan route and their cancer went away.
Let's hit on that real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So if you were to, I'm literally like similar in that sense.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk like, obviously that's an extreme case, but I think that if I ever were to get that, I would try to do it everything I can before going to a doctor.
It's like might as well. It's like might as well try all the non-medicinal ways.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to hurt you any less. Or hurt you anymore to like, I'll just start eating more fruits and veggies, see what that does for me.
Exactly. It's just not as it's like looked down upon to do these, but like the crazy thing is I actually have a friend's mom who like didn't do chemotherapy and stuff like that, and she beat the cancer.
Oh, awesome!
So like it's possible.
It's out. The stories, endless stories out there,
and I think that there'd be more if more people tried.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not saying that if you have cancer, you shouldn't go get chemotherapy. Right. Obviously, but you people, we should allow people to have that personal decision. The same thing with the vaccine. If you don't want to get the vaccine, that's your choice. You know what I mean? It should be your choice. You should be always your choice. And I'm not taking the vaccine because I think that it's got XYZ in it. That's a whole other topic for whatever. I'm not taking it because I don't even take ibuprofen when I get knee pain. You know what I'm saying? I go and stretch for 30, 45 minutes. I go to the sauna, I go for a walk. I wouldn't take, Tums if I get a stomach ache. I'd rather just get food poisoning and deal with that or whatever it might be. Might be ignorant, but and the thing is that I get my blood work checked every year or as frequently as I can. And every time when I have people, sometimes they come at me and not come at me, but like people are close to me. Oh, you should try this, take this. And my blood work is always perfect. Yeah. Like, oh, you eat too much, you do this, you do that. And my blood work is always like literally, I don't mean to brag, but I'm gonna say it's like flat out like the best that you could possibly have. Yeah. And I give it to my body's ability to heal itself and to run efficiently itself.
Trusting your own body, what it was built to do. And
this has been a really good podcast because I think that it's something that I've never spoken on about publicly really. And I think it's, more people should hear about this because I think that the more social media grows, the more people share their stories, like you were saying, like that Netflix documentary. Yeah. I think there's a lot to go into this area, like healing naturally and kind of not necessarily like stepping away from medicine, right? Traditional medicine, but
just looking into other alternatives, looking at expanding your
your horizons,
not just putting all your eggs in this basket just because everyone else is putting theirs in, but looking at like, oh well, this worked for these people. Let me try this real quick before I hop onto all this.
Yeah. And like, unfortunately, when you talk about this in front of people, some people get offended by what you're saying. Yeah. But I honestly, I think it's the best way. If you can do everything naturally without having to take anything, then your life is better than 99% of the population because you're imagine what you could do now on your own without taking anything. Now imagine if you were to add a little bit of this or that, you know, just a little bit, like for people that don't drink any caffeine, and that's something that I'm trying to work on myself, is lowering my caffeine intake. You know, people that can run efficiently on no caffeine, imagine those people drink a cup of coffee.
Oh yeah.
Now they're like lightning speed.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? I have to be drinking a cup of coffee to be lightning speed, but they could do it without it. So imagine what they're doing. You know, it's a great way to live life, in my opinion. But
Yeah, and that's with the whole vaccine thing. You know, like I said, it's my friends for it.
Yeah.
I'm against, but like that's the thing. I'm like, I don't look at it as like, oh, you're getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
I got to tell you why you shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'm just like, all right, I don't.
Yeah, no,
If you want to take it, all right, that's good. But
Exactly.
But when they kind of pester me into do it, I'm like, I mean, they're not gonna make me do it. I'm not gonna, you know, take anything. But
yeah,
I'm like, when
There you
they
go.
don't really respect that I'm not
Yeah.
going to, I'm like, all right.
no,
come
I
on,
mean,
like,
I don't have conversation. Like I just, you know,
Yeah.
people get into that. I'm just like, whatever.
I'm like-
I make I poke fun at it sometimes.
Yeah.
You have to poke fun at it. You know what
oh
I mean?
yeah, because I'm like, look, I've been healthy this whole time,
Yeah.
and I'm not too sure. I think with getting any kind of shot, they put a little bit of the illness
Yeah,
in it,
in there, yeah.
so your body gets
Yeah.
used to it or something.
That's with this vaccine. It's like an mRNA or whatever. It's supposed to like change your DNA to be able to have the immunity of the vaccine. It's too much complication
Yeah.
for me. I'm good.
But I looked at it, I'm like I said, I'm not saying like, oh, I can never get it. I'm immune.
Yeah.
You know, nothing can, you know, stop
Yeah.
it. But I'm like,
But you know what? Honestly, people that have that mentality in their minds, that don't like, it's not like me and you are walking around saying, oh, fuck the like F cancer. We're going to, you know, I'm never going
Yeah.
to get it, or I'm never going to have this. No, we
Right.
don't walk around like that. But I think internally we think that, hey, I'm really strong.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wake up every day, whether I sleep 3 hours or whether I sleep 8 hours, and I'm able to be productive all day long. I can work my tail off, especially you, because now you're doing like more physical. Like we have that. Our bodies have that ability to adapt to anything. We feel within. That's how I feel within myself.
Yeah.
So I know whatever challenge I come in the future, whether that be illness or whatever that might be, I feel like I'm able. And the more I do this, the more I like not rely on things like medicine and stuff like that. I feel stronger as an individual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
because you've already put your mind and body through that training.
yeah,
Just you've trained it mentally, you've
Exactly.
trained it physically for whatever, for the injuries you got past, for all
Yeah.
the illnesses that you made.
You know, they told me to get back surgery for my back. I never did that.
Right.
Because I don't think I needed it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm sure if I went to a shoulder doctor, they'd say, hey, you tore this or you did this. You need to do this. You need to, you know, I never did any of that.
And that's the thing, like I watch a lot of like the MMA fights and all that,
Yeah.
and you know, injuries are,
Yeah.
you hear about a lot of them to where they're like, yeah, I got a screw in my back. And
Yeah.
once they get that surgery done,
Yeah, they never come back.
years of, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I have this, I've never been the same since I got the screw done. Say you got that done for
Yeah.
your
Oh,
back
dude, yeah.
injury.
No.
You'd be like,
No chance.
man, ever since I got that done, it's been,
Yeah, I think that people just, it kind of all kind of comes back full circle. I just think that sometimes people aren't patient with what they're given. So if someone gets a cold, they'd rather just take the quick pill so they feel better right away.
Yeah.
Rather than wait 3 hours, take a nap, like you said, take a nap,
Yeah.
take a shower, walk around, and then now you feel the same way as you did if you didn't take the pill. It just took a little bit of patience. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Next time you get a little cold, maybe it's 2 hours that you feel, you know, you get better. That's faster. And sooner or later, like I got sick like a couple months ago, in like January, and that was the first time I had been sick in like literally 5 years.
do you think it was like a food you ate, or it was just like,
It was like a fluke.
Something-
Like one day I just felt like crap, and then the next day I was fine.
yeah,
It was like one day I felt like,
quick little,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
And I didn't take any medicine. I slept, like sneezed a bunch of times, and that was it.
yeah.
It was gone. You know, so you never know. You know. But anyways, this has been a very interesting podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely want to have you on again, Christian, with
Yeah.
more of the Water Buffalo boys, maybe with some Levi. I feel like, bro, you have a lot of things you can say. You're really good at speaking as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
But real quick before we head out, let everybody know why they call you Coca Cola Christian.
Pretty much I've been collecting Coca Cola merchandise for, I think November, it'll be 11 years maybe. So I've been collecting for a while, and yeah, just grew. Like I like the soft drink in general, but yeah, I've been collecting for 11 years now, and really just anything Coca Cola. It could be like collectible bottles, cans. I try to go for more of the oddball stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have like Coca Cola. It's bags of pasta, and it's like the pasta's in the shape of Coca Cola bottles.
Really?
So it's just like I like collecting like those little oddball stuff. Like
I mean, dude, like you never know, or not you never know. I think it will in the future. All that stuff's gonna be worth a lot of money.
oh yeah, yeah.
That's why I've been like, I got that vinyl, that record player, and honestly, I've just been trying to build a collection of vinyls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I've been seeing, dude, online like this, the prices of vinyls, like they just keep going up.
Oh yeah.
And not that I like enjoy the vinyls as much as I think you enjoy Coca Cola, because I think you really enjoy Coca Cola.
Yeah.
But I like,
I'm surprised. It's funny. I was telling my friend, I'm like, he was drinking salt water before a workout, and he was like, "When's the last time you had water?" I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh man, when was Bush in office?" Like, I was like,
You don't drink water?
Rarely.
What do you usually drink? Flavored water?
Like throughout the day, like I'll try to drink protein, like something with protein.
You don't drink any water?
Rarely. Like this
Really?
is probably my first water, and like it's probably been like half a year, maybe.
What do you drink?
It's rare. It's like it could be like at work today we had a truck, so before my break, with all the moving around I do, if I don't eat anything, I'll get a headache. So I normally just drink like that Fairlife chocolate milk.
Okay, so you drink you drink liquids.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was about to say
a lot of liquids. Yeah.
Okay, you just don't drink water per se.
Not much. Yeah. It's like rarely like I said. This is like I forgot what it tasted like. Like this is
Really?
the first.
Wow, interesting. Maybe that's the key.
It's not
longevity.
good, but it's not healthy probably. But it's I've been running fine off of chocolate milk and.
Okay, so I was about to say you don't drink liquids. That's
Right.
That's,
No,
I know
that's
some
pretty
guys
much
that-
most of my diet, like just liquids, protein shakes,
milk is always
milk. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, no, I like I just started like a month and a half ago. I really enjoy the vinyls, so I'm gonna like get into buying more because like I said, I was looking online, dude. There's some vinyls that go for like $5,000 right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm gonna have any of those, but if I buy them for like $15-20 and a couple of years from now they're worth $60-70.
Right.
There you go.
Because when I lived in Michigan, that's all you would see, and I would go to barn sales and garage sales,
Vinyls.
and that's all like that's stuff you would see just for like people would be selling it for 50 cents to $1.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Buy it real cheap, and then someone's like, "Oh, Michael Jackson vinyl," and now it's worth a good chunk. But
Yeah, if you go to a vinyl store, that's like $10-15 up to like $150-$200, and online, if you look for certain vinyls, are worth like thousands.
yeah.
So, and I'm sure a lot of the Coca Cola stuff you have was worth some decent money.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive thing you have, or most
What was
valuable?
it? Something that ran by me that I'm still irritated I didn't pop on it when I saw it, but it was.
You never bought it?
No, this one was a Coca-Cola harp,
Yeah.
like the string harp, and I put it in my cart, and I was
Was
like,
it like Amazon or something like that? Or?
eBay.
eBay.
And
okay.
I was like, it'll be there tomorrow. I'll wait.
How much
buy
was it?
It was probably like 90 something, but I'm like, it's so unique. Like I've been looking for it ever since, but
You couldn't find it?
yeah, it's just, and then someone bought it.
Gotcha.
And, but now probably, what do I have? I have a Coca-Cola rocking chair that's probably like a few hundred, but not crazy, but.
I mean, in 10-15 years from now, if you keep it cool, it's probably worth a lot of money. You never know. Dude, weird things spike, like baseball cards and all that. There's baseball cards and like athletic cards that are worth millions of dollars now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's the thing. It's doing the junk job I do on the Fridays and Saturdays.
Dude, you're going to find a lot of cool things, dude.
It's sad because I'm like, one house, they were getting rid of all these books and, some vinyls. And I'm like,
if you ever find vinyls, I'll definitely buy them off you.
I'll save some now. And just, if I can't keep everything. Otherwise, I'm just going to be a hoarder. So I'm like, just having to toss this stuff. I'm like,
yeah, there's some good stuff in there you had to toss.
this is history too. It's like that's why you don't see much of it, because like people see stuff like that and
It's trash.
they're like, oh, I don't have a record player, like and they toss it, and it's like,
Oh my god, my cousin, real quick before we close out, 'cause, my cousin was talking about how he had Michael Jordan's rookie card or something like that, worth like $50,000 now. He's somewhere in a locker in a storage unit somewhere, or in the garbage. But because I haven't seen him in a while, and he saw him. He's like, yeah, dude. I don't think he was bullshitting. He always had game cards and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I have the Michael Jordan. It was one of the most expensive cards, and I was like, but yeah. Anyways, so we'll close out the podcast, and I just let everybody know, Christian, where they could find you on Instagram.
All right, so my handle is Coca Cola Christian, so COCACOLA Christian, and then it's pretty much all I use. But
awesome. Well, it's been a blast having a little buff talk with Christian. Definitely gonna have him on again, bro. It was a lot of fun. I don't know how you like the podcasting experience, but you did a great job, bro.
Yeah, this is cool. My first one, so I was like, I wondered how it was.
Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching, and make sure to check out the rest of our podcast. Check Christian out, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Hey guys, thank you guys for checking out this video. Make sure to go check out all of our other podcasts, Buffalo Barbecues, our Buffalo workouts, and also a slew of other things, including challenges and whatnot. So make sure to check out all of these different things. Thank you guys for watching. I am Old School Matt here, and this is Water Buffalo TM. Peace.